Hello and welcome to Mrinal's Math Tutorials. So in today's tutorial, we're going to look at trigonometric functions. So we're going to try and find the trigonometric function when the graph of the trigonometric function is given to us. So in this question, you can see that the trigonometric function is a cos bx plus c. So let us try and understand what does a, b and c stand for. So we're having y equal to a cos bx plus c. So here A stands for the amplitude, B stands for we would call it as the frequency. That means how many full waves you have in one period. And C stands for the midline or the center line. Now to find A, the amplitude, you will first have to either find the midline, or you may also like to use a formula. The formula for finding the amplitude is equal to max minus min divided by 2. So the maximum value that is in this graph is 8 and the minimum value is minus 2. So max minus min. So it's going to be 8 minus a negative 2, everything divided by 2. So that gives me 10 divided by 2. The amplitude is 5. To find the midline, which is over here, C, so amplitude is 5, so we can conclude that the value of A is equal to 5. So the midline is going to be max plus min divided by 2, or you can also see it on the graph. So it's going to be 8 plus negative 2 divided by 2, so which is going to be equal to 3. So that's going to be your midline or the center line of the graph. Yeah, so this tells me that the value of C is equal to 3. Now we need to calculate the value of B. B is how many full waves, the frequency, how many full waves in one period. So to calculate B, we are going to use the formula period. Now this is a cosine graph, yeah, in terms of radians. So 2 pi divided by B. To find the period of this graph, you are going to look how many full cycles are there. So B stands for how many full cycles you can see in the graph. So this is a cosine graph. A normal cosine graph would look like this. I'll just draw it here. A normal cosine graph would look something like this. This is one full period up to 360 degrees. So in one full period, how many full cycles can you see over here? So you have 1, that's 1 and 2. So it tells me the value of B, which is equal to 2, because there are 2 full cycles in the graph. So let's use the white pen. B is equal to 2. So we got the value of A, C and B. We may also use this formula which I've mentioned over here. In that case, the period over here for this graph is when you get one full cycle, you get at pi. In pi there is one full cycle, so it would be period would be equal to pi. So B would be 2 pi divided by pi, which is equal to 2. Now part B of the same question is For the values a, b and c, use the given diagram to determine the number of solutions in the interval 0 to 2 pi for each of these following equations. So we have a cos bx plus c is equal to 6 pi x. So it's basically here 6 pi by x, it means that this is your gradient. Yeah, so what is the gradient over here? The gradient over here is 6 over pi. Draw a line. So we have the equation y equal to 6 over pi x. Okay, let us choose first point, x is 0. So if x is 0, y is also 0. Let us choose another point, could be any x value you like. I'm just going to use pi because that's easy. So it's going to be, if x is pi, then what will be y? 6 over pi times pi. So that's going to be equal to 6. So we have the two coordinates 0, 0 and pi and 6. Plot those 0, 0 and pi and 6. So it's this one. And draw a straight line passing through both of them. So in how many places does it intersect the cosine graph? You can see that this is one intersection, two intersection, three intersection. That means there are three intersections, so there will be three solutions. Likewise, the next equation is y equal to 6 minus 6 over pi x. Again, choose 2 points. When x is 0, y would be 6. When x is pi, you got to substitute your x value in here to calculate the y. So when x is pi, if you substitute pi here, you're going to get y would be equal to 0. So let's plot these 2 points. Let's choose a different color. So we have 0, 6 and pi 0. So when x is 0, y is 6. And when x is pi, y is 0. And draw a straight line passing through them. And notice how many points of intersection do you have. So this is the first point. And that's the second point. So you basically have only 2 points of intersection with the cosine graph. So there will be 2 solutions. So the answer for this would be 2 solutions. All right, that's it about for this question. Let's look at another question. Now, in this question, we have been given, this is a graph of sine q theta, p sine q theta plus r. We need to find the value of p, q and r. Again, let us understand what does p, q and r stand for. Again, it stands for the same thing that we did in the previous question. P stands for the amplitude. Q stands for the frequency. And R stands for the midline. So if you can identify the midline from the graph itself, it's fine. We need to find the value of P. So P is the amplitude. You can look at the graph and tell me what's the amplitude, or you may also want to use the formula. So amplitude is equal to P, that is max minus min divided by 2. So that's equal to, the maximum value is 1, as you can see over here, that's the maximum, and the minimum value is minus 5. So 1 minus 5, which is going to be 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the value of P is 3. Part B is state the value of Q. So Q is the frequency. How many full waves do you have in one period? Now, the period of this graph over here, this is sine graph, so I can see that this is one full wave. Yeah, one full wave occurs in 2 pi. Normally it would be in 2 pi, but over here it is 4 pi. So let us make use of the formula. Period is equal to 2 pi by b, or b is equal to 2 pi by period. And as you can see that the period of this graph is 4 pi. Why is it 4 pi? Because one full wave, one full sine wave is appearing in 4 pi. So the value of B is going to be half. So B in our case is Q, so Q is equal to half. Alright. Now the amplitude. Now part C, you need to calculate R. R is the midline. Yeah. So midline is max plus min divided by 2. The maximum value what you have here is 1. So 1 plus minus 5 divided by 2, which is negative 2. So the value of R is negative 2. Maximum plus the minimum. You can see from the graph the maximum is 1 and the minimum is minus 5. So that's about it for this question. Thank you for watching the tutorial. Make sure you like, share and subscribe my channel.